I'm seeing a trend within the next few decades. Within that time, I believe that people who have access to the internet and have that drive to self-educate will surpass many of those who have paid for a university education or post-grad education. Why is this the case? Because for a very cheap fee, the internet, you get access to a vast store of information that's oftentimes free where you can self-educate, especially if you know where to look. I mean, we're talking there's thousands of videos by billionaires on YouTube alone, and that's probably oftentimes more practical and valuable than a course by a professor at a school on finance or business. So, putting that aside, I wanted to help you along. Here are 10 websites that you can go to that will make you unbelievably smarter. Number one, Coursera. So Coursera has over 800 courses and growing. It's very well known. There's tens of thousands of students, and I mean, there's some great content on there, some from very reputable schools for free. And so you're pretty much getting that same level of education. I mean, I've been in those courses in person, and sometimes the people there don't even care. Like they're surfing Facebook, or they're not engaged or passionate about what's being taught. So I believe those people who have that willpower and that work ethic and drive, those are the people who are going to hustle and take those courses through the internet from Africa or wherever else and get way ahead. Number two, this is just a fun one I threw in there, Nerd Fitness. So nerdfitness.com is a specific type of fitness routine and tutorial website for people who are nerds or geeks who want to get fit. So there's a lot of self-taught learning here on becoming fit, but for a specific type of person who isn't necessarily typically very fit. Number three, Investopedia. So this is like the go-to source for any type of finance or marketing or business definition. And it's helped me out a lot, when I don't know what certain terms are, when you don't know what return on equity is, or you don't know standard accounting terms. This site is really, really good in explaining it very well. And there's a lot of stuff on there that goes into depth. It's not just definitions. There's actually great detailed blog posts on specific topics. Number four, Quora. So this is like Yahoo Answers on steroids, and it just works a lot better for some reason. I think it's because people upvote comments, the actual interface, it looks prettier and more efficient. The point is, there's pretty much almost every topic under the sun. Tons of people are on there daily answering questions and asking questions. I have an account on there too where I do both. And long story short, it's really useful because pretty much anything you can think of, business, marketing, there's actually substantial answers. In fact, they will limit your answers if it's not a certain level of word count. And I mean, you get some very extensive answers. Just a quick warning though, be careful, because some of these people on there, I've seen it, they have no credentials and they're giving all sorts of like business and all sorts of advice on stuff that they shouldn't, which scares me a bit. So just be very careful. If you're doing meditation, look for experienced meditator with 10 years of experience, not just the highest upvoted answer. If you're looking for business advice or venture capital or any sort of weird stuff like that, be very careful on there. Number five, Code Academy. So this is a really fun and cool website I found out about a few years ago, and I think this is one of the websites that has and will change the game. You literally get some of the most fun, easy to understand coding courses for all the most well-known programming languages out there, most of them, completely for free. And this will really change the game, because I know there are people who they don't like it enough to learn about it, and those people who will get way ahead. And I mean, these courses go really in depth and it's completely free. I can't even believe it. So check that out. Six is TED. You can honestly just check them out on YouTube. TED Talks is huge on YouTube and most of their stuff is incredible. But if you go to their website, TED.com, You know, oftentimes you get more detail, more curated courses, specific playlists, and all sorts of incredible videos and lectures. I mean, what I love most about TED is that they bring usually experts with scientific backgrounds, and they go into extensive, like, evidence-based research on why specific things work and how they bring about changes in all sorts of areas of your life: psychology, body language, exercise, fitness, happiness, everything to improve your life. And it's one of those things that you wouldn't expect to get lots of views on YouTube because it's more long form, but it's gotten hundreds of millions of views, and all of their videos are very well known. Having said that, though, they have expanded, and it's getting to a point where they're letting anyone, not anyone, but like people who don't have scientific credibility but some achievement, and some of these stories are more anecdotal, and their reasoning is backed by just anecdotal opinions. So watch out for that. Nonetheless, it's an incredible thing, and you will learn some incredible stuff from these presentations. I mean, they literally spent hours, days, weeks preparing and cutting down these presentations to deliver them most effectively to you for free. 7, MIT OpenCourseWare. So this is just one of those other websites out there where if you really want to go the established university route, and you can. There are free courses available that have been open sourced and straight from very established and prestigious schools like Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I think what we'll be finding now are people, and this has honestly really been the case already, like if you study a lot of millionaires and billionaires, they were high school or college dropouts. Not all of them, but it's incredibly interesting. In fact, there are more state university billionaires and CEOs than Ivy League graduates. So I got that from the book Rework. It's a great and fairly well-known business book. You can check it out if you want more specifics. But check that out. Number 8 is lynda.com. This is the only one on this list that is not free, and it's a paid service owned by LinkedIn.com. And I wanted to give you a little hack that you might be able to use to get this for free legally. And basically how it works is, you know, if you live in the US or sometimes any like first world country, you have access to public library. Anyone who's a citizen can join the public library and get a free library card. With that card and the username and the barcode, most libraries give you access to log in through their public library website and get access to the entire Lynda database. Most of them have some type of deal with Lynda, and that's one way that you can explore of getting a ton of premium. I mean, and we're talking premium, like hundreds of videos on anything under the sun, from Photoshop to Excel to Google Analytics to a lot of things, photography, for free. And you're getting all this coursework, this database of coursework for free or very close to free for a subscription-based price that might be free if you have that public library access. Number 9 is Mind Tools, and this one is interesting. It's a new one. I'm not too familiar with this. I just found out about it, but it's a blog and it can really help you with practical career-based skills. It's a great daily way of brushing up and developing your entry-level skills. Just a reminder, none of this is sponsored or anything. I've just been exploring myself. And then the 10th one is onlinelearning.harvard.edu. So basically there's a dash between online and learning. So it's online-learning.harvard.edu. And this last one is basically to address probably one of the most prestigious Ivy League schools that most people are aware of, most Asians are aware of because their parents always talk about it. But if you want free courses from Harvard, I mean, they're opening it up too. There's also another website from Harvard. It's edx.org/school/HarvardX. And the website has a department for Harvard as well as many other schools. And you can get verified courses from these Ivy League schools for free if you want to learn and self-teach yourself. And I think this will really open up the playing field in the next few decades, because guarantee you there are people slacking off right now who have gotten into these schools somehow. And now they're competing not just with their school members, but with the people outside who have that hustle and ambition and are willing to self-teach themselves based off the courses that have been opened up. Of course, not every course has been opened up. And for you Harvard grads, if you are watching this, or Harvard students, don't panic, just chill out. You are in the top 1%. Relax. You're not gonna, don't get anxious. And I'm saying this because I know that Harvard, because of like the comparisons going on every day, their students have one of the lowest rates of happiness out of many schools because of all that social comparison and that competitiveness. So it's not the end of the world for you Harvard students either. And finally, to just conclude this video, I just want to tell you that there's so much more out there. I think YouTube is a great source if you search the right terms, if you want to know where to look. But again, it's not always the best source. You still have to have a certain level of filter, like, okay, is this guy actually credible? Or is this guy just talking about this? Or is this guy a billionaire? Or is this guy just a random guy? Or, there's also a level of curation and being able to find what you want to find on there. I do think that, if you do your digging, you can find some incredible stuff. Like if you just Google a phrase like free online courses from Stanford in economics, you might be able to find something. Or you can literally just Google what you want, and more we're going to be finding a lot of self-taught education going on, and it will open up the playing field globally and creating a lot more stuff. I think most people are underestimating how much this is already occurring and how much it will grow to, and we will be moving from a place of information or lack thereof to a place of information overload and curation and finding the right content, the most reputable, credible sources. And Google's already trying to do that really well, but at the same time, there will be a certain level of, you have to figure this out for yourself. So again, my personal advice would just be, look to see if this guy's actually credible, if this will actually help you, and, focus down on the people that you focus on the people that you want to be like and model them, and don't listen to too much outside of that. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Of course, if you're new to this channel, you can hit the subscribe button below for free video updates every Thursday, and of course, I will see you next week. Of course, if you want even more stuff, or if you want greater details, I want to just plug the 11th website, which is my own website, where you can learn a lot. If you want more extensive depth on the topics I cover about success, psychology, mindset, happiness, and all those things, you can check out my self-development website, and it has all sorts of blog posts that go into great detail on this. It will be linked below. It's willyoulaugh.com, and again, it will be linked right below this video. So check that out. That's number 11. A little bonus one, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.